loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Rye, and this is Rye's Reading Corner, and today we're going to be talking about my possible reading plans for the month of July. Again, hello, I'm Rye, and this is Rye's Reading Corner. The first time you see my face, if you have not hit the subscribe button, please do so. It's super easy and it really helps my channel grow. So as you can tell by my thumbnail and my little introduction, today we're talking about my potential reading plans for the month of July. So you may notice this is not what I've been doing recently or the past almost 2 years. I typically would play TBR Jenga to get my books for the month to read. However, I have had this really big internal struggle and dilemma about TBR Jenga, and I talked a lot with Cassidy and Mel as well as my Patreon, and I felt kind of burnt out by playing TBR Jenga. I've been doing it for 2 years, and I feel like my reading style has shifted, where I was very regimented before, but now I feel like with the way my life is now with 3 kids, I have become more of a mood reader, and so I felt like I was filming TBR Jenga more for you than for me, and I wasn't actually even reading those books, and then I felt guilty for not reading those, and then I just didn't read at all, or I wasn't reading as much. So for last month, I did take off TBR Jenga to kind of think and process everything, and I really enjoyed reading kind of where I wanted to, letting myself, my feelings guide where I wanted to read, and I was able to binge series, and I'm really excited and want to do that more. Also, I want to participate more in like read-alongs and book clubs, and I felt like with TBR Jenga it was super hard to do that, and I have some really fun things coming to my channel that I really want to put my focus into, which is going to be coming up in the next video. I'm so excited about it, so make sure you subscribe so you know what's going on. Because of that, I have decided at this moment in time to retire TBR Jenga for right now. Does not mean it will not come back in the future. I definitely think I'll be bringing TBR Jenga to my Patreon somehow, and maybe doing some like readathons with TBR Jenga, but as of right now I feel like I need a break, and so I hope that you all understand, and I am really happy with this decision. I feel so much more motivated and to make content, and I want to do some more vlogs and things like that. Instead, I'm going to do more of like a reading possibility, maybe things, and kind of keep you updated on what I'm currently reading, am I participating in any book clubs, and some possibilities that I may have in any readathons. I'm going to structure this video down by a couple different categories. I'm going to start off with my recent reads, and then I'm going to do any book club books that I need to get done for the month of July, and then I'm going to go over any readathons I'm doing, and then just some books that I have been calling to me. And this is why I'm so excited to be kind of doing this mood reading type videos instead of this strict TBR Jenga, because I have the opportunity to do this. So in terms of first of what I'm currently reading, I am reading Ruthless by Elise Silver. This is the 4th book in her most recent book in the Chestnut Hills series. I believe that's what it's called. And this it's a small town romance that follows this family of like cowboys and their significant others, and I've just really enjoyed this series. I've binged the 2 books in about a little over a week, and I'm now moving on to my 3rd one, and then the 5th one comes out in October, which I'm super psyched about. And I just like that we get the whole families throughout the entire series, which I just dig so much. So I'm really excited, and I'm reading that one on my Kindle. Category we're going to be doing is my book clubs books, and the first book club that we need to talk about is Cassidy's Covers with Cassidy's book club, which is the Backlist Book Club, because I am a co-host for the next 3 books. We're reading a series, and I don't know exactly the whole entire series name, but the first one is Red Sister by Mark Lawrence, and it's the Book of the Ancestor. I should probably know that before going into the live show. I don't know too much about this. I just know that this is a fantasy trilogy that people really love and adore. Bobby gifted me all 3 books last year for my birthday. I haven't picked them up yet, so I'm really excited. I know it's about something about assassin nuns. That's all about I could tell you. So this is on my TBR for July, because the live show is this upcoming weekend. And the other one is a book club that you'll be seeing an announcement video for very soon. Will be the next one on my channel, and it is the Book of Azrael. And this is a fantasy romance that I'm super excited about. The author is going to be at a Polycon, which I get to be a part of and go to. I'm so excited for that one and get to meet so many of my bookish friends in person. And this is a slow burn fantasy romance, enemies to lovers, and I'm super psyched for it. A lot of people have been talking about it. It is a duology, I believe, and this is the first one, so I'm super excited, and definitely stay tuned for an exciting announcement where this book will be discussed in further detail. So the next thing we're going to talk about is readathons, and I am only participating in one readathon, and that is Summerween. I love participating in these readathons. They're hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads, as well as Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte, and it's based around Halloween, which is my favorite holiday of all time, and I am really excited. There are some prompts, and I have some books that are definite. I also just have some possibilities. I don't know exactly which books I'll be reading for which prompts. However, However, I just want to read a bunch of spooky books during this week, which is nice about this whole mood reading that I'm experimenting with. The prompts for Summerween for this round is read a book in the dark, read a thriller, read a book that takes place in the fall, read a book with orange or black on the cover, read a manga, graphic novel, or novella. Over here I have a basket of possibilities that I'm super excited about. The camera angle probably definitely just got hit. I do apologize, my camera got hit. So in terms of what I'm reading, I'm going to be reading Riley Sager's new book, and this will be reading definitely for, I think, the thriller prompt I'm going to do for this one. I'm really excited for this one. I've been hearing some pretty good things. I hope it goes back to more of like his beginning stuff that I really enjoyed. The last couple ones have not been my favorite by him. I have my fingers crossed that this one is good. I don't know anything about it, and you'll see that's a pattern for a lot of my thriller horror books, just because I like going in not knowing much. So that's my plan. So for the reading a book in the dark, I'm going to read Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates, and this is her newest one that just came out. It is a horror book. I absolutely love Darcy Coates. I do have this as an e-arc as well, so that'll be easy to read in the dark. I don't know anything about this. I think it takes place in the Rocky Mountains. I'm guessing maybe in isolation, but it'll be interesting to read a snowy horror book in the dead of summer. It's not too long. It's actually over 300 pages. 345, not too bad, but Darcy Coates books read so fast, so I have no problem gonna be flying through this. I know on this one, and I know a lot of my friends are gonna be reading it this month, so I'm super excited to talk about it with them. The next one is The Whispering Dead by Darcy Coates, and I'm thinking of reading this book for black on the cover. This is a series by Darcy Coates, and I don't know anything about it, but it's Darcy Coates. That's all I need to know. Another possibility that I could do for a black on the cover is Slewfoot, and this is a tale of bewitchery. And I've heard great things about this book. I've been waiting to buy, but I didn't want to buy it in hardcover. It was super expensive. But I also didn't want to read it via audio because it has really cool pictures in it. I don't know too much about this. I just know that it has to do with like witchery and stuff like that, which is something one of my favorite things to read about. So this is a possibility for Summerween. And the last one also is Nana by Brandon Massey, and I'm really excited about this one. I got this for my birthday. It was gifted to me by Kaylee, so thank you so much, Kaylee. I don't know anything really about this. I just know that, again, it's been a horror book that a lot of my friends have read and have enjoyed. So these are my possibilities for Summerween, including the Riley Sager book. I am going to vlog, which then you'll be able to see exactly which books I read for which prompts. So again, make sure you subscribe so that you can check that all out. Okay, so the next group of books are just books that I've kind of been wanting to read. I'm having that just like the inclination of needing to read them. So there's really no rhyme or reason, which is nice about not having TBR Jenga. I may read all of these, I may read none of them. But the first one is Rock Bottom Girl by Lucy Score. I've really been wanting to try Lucy Score. I've heard some really good things from this author, that people are really enjoying her writing. She writes a lot of books, and so I really would like to get started with her. And I want to start with this one because it is a soccer romance, and I really like reading about soccer. Culty is one of my favorite books, but I am nervous. I don't want to keep like having throughout I'm reading this comparing it to Culty. So I want to give this a fair try, go in open-minded, and hopefully I like it. The next one is Scarred by Emily McIntyre. This is a second book in the Never After series, and they are Disney retellings, and this one is Lion King, which I've never read a Lion King retelling before. I read Hooked in the month of June and really did enjoy it. This one I think is maybe more mafia based. I'm not 100% sure. I could totally be wrong about this one, but I'm excited. I know Bree from Four Paws in Book read it for Smut Den, really enjoyed it, so I have some high hopes. The next one is a series that I would like to continue, and this is Flamefall by Rosaria Munda. This is the sequel to Fireborn, which I'm sure you've heard us talk quite a bit about. Cassidy absolutely loves this series. I loved Fireborn. I have fallen in love with dragons this year. Who am I? But this is the follow-up novel to this one, and we are continuing following the two same characters, but we also have a new point of view in this book, which I am excited to kind of explore. I did actually start this one, so I probably should have put that at this point in the earlier part of the video. There was no specific reason why I stopped reading it. I just had to pick up something else for another project or something along those lines, and so I had to put a pause on this one, but I am excited to continue. The next one is TJ Klune's newest book, and this is In the Lives of Puppets, and this is a Pinocchio retelling. I was a little nervous because I believe it has like robots too, and it's Pinocchio, which is not one of my favorite Disney stories. However, Michelle from Michelle's Library absolutely adored and loved this book. I've heard absolutely great things. House of the Australian Sea was one of my favorite books of the year it came out. I have not picked up the other one. I don't know why, but I heard this is going to be a hard-hitting one, and I'm hoping it gives me all of those same type of vibes that House of the Australian Sea did. The next one is a Carissa Broadbent, and and this is Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, and this is the Mortal Enemies to Monster Lovers series that a bunch of different fantasy romance writers are doing. They're standalone books that follow type of different monster romances, and this one is separate from her Serpent series, but I believe it does take place kind of in the same world. I could be wrong on that one, but I've heard some mixed things about this one, so I'm a little hesitant and nervous, but this cover is absolutely gorgeous. I love the hardback, and she will be at a Polycon, and I am going, so I want to read all the books to see which ones I would like to bring to get signed by her. Okay, so the next ones are all books. They're on my Kindle, so I will put the pictures here, which is why I have them on my computer just so I can remember which ones they are, and a lot of them, I think all of them, are fantasy romance. I'm in my fantasy romance era, and the first book is Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. This is the first series that she has written, and I heard that the first book is so-so. I heard the world building is done pretty well, but I heard the second book is pretty good, but these books are really long. They're chunky. So I am excited to see kind of where she started, because I've started like on the opposite end of her series. I don't know too much about it. I just know that the main character is badass female, which I really appreciate in my fantasy romance books. The next one is Blood Mercy by Veronica Roth. This book, a lot of people have been reading it recently and have absolutely adored it. It is a very slow burn from what I've heard, and the world building is done really well. And I know a lot of people are appreciating that, because sometimes in a fantasy romance you don't get all of that world building that focuses a lot more on the romance. But I heard that this one has a pretty good balance. Again, this series is a chunky one. Like, these books are huge. Like, it starts right off the bat, a chunky book. It does not hesitate. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited for that one. The next one is Trial of the Sun Queen, and this one, I believe this author is going to a Polycon as well. Veronica Roth is too. I'm super excited if you can't tell. And this is like a crossover, they said, between The Bachelor and The Hunger Games, like an adult version of the Selection series by Kira Cass, which is actually one of my favorite books series, the first three at least. I really enjoyed that one. I love dystopian books and the fantasy kind of aspects of the Selection. So I've heard some mixed things about this. Cassie did not love it. I don't think Mel did either. However, there's a lot of buzzwords that I like that I'm hearing about this book that I feel like it gives me potential. So I am excited for this one. And the next one and the last one is Gold Rush Ranch series by Elise Silver. And this is another small town ranch one. And there are crossovers between these two series. And actually the sister of all the brothers that the Chestnut Springs or Chestnut Hills, I can't remember that second word, his family with, her story is in this book, and some of the other cousins that we do hear about in some of these other books. So I really want to go back, and I really have adored and have fallen in love with her writing. So I'm super hyped and excited to see kind of where these other series that she has written. I don't know if this was her first series or not, but I don't care. I just want to read everything that Elise Silver has written. So I'm super excited about this kind of mood reading, free type of reading. I don't feel stressed. I don't feel having to only read certain books and buddy reads and all those other things, and just motivated to really read what I want to read and not feel pressured to read certain books. So I am excited for all the fun things that are coming into my channel, so definitely make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything, and let me know which book you are most excited about to read for the month of July. If you're not feeling chatty and you just want to drop an emoji, drop a dragon, because I talked about dragons. I'm really loving some dragons lately. Drop the dragon emoji. So if you want to take this crazy and chaotic with me, please make sure you press the subscribe button. If you're my friend on any of my other social media platforms, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I do have my own Patreon, which is all the information that's linked below. Stay kind, love. See you next time. Bye.